morning, second graders. This video is for Wednesday, March 25th. And I hope you're doing well, doing your homework at home and your schoolwork at home. I know it's hard, but I'm really proud of you for keeping at it, and hopefully we'll be back together soon. Now, today I'm going to start off by telling you what we're going to do for Sarah Plain and Tall. So we're going to read chapter 6 in the book, and we're still working on that lap book. If for some reason you sent this back to me, you'll have to do the activities and we'll have to glue it in later. Okay, so you should have, up to now, it should look about like this. Now, you may not have glued this page in. That's okay. I just glued it today because we're going to be working on this today. You already did what happened at the beginning of the book. So today you're going to write about what happened in the middle of the book. And hopefully we can talk about that a little bit if you come to the Zoom meeting. Now, in the middle, there are a couple of great chapters. One of them where they're going to learn what a dune is, and they're going to make their own dune. I think you read that yesterday. And then today, they're going to go swimming. So you might want to tell about either of those activities that they do on the farm. Now, I'm going to show you another thing that we're going to get started on today. And also, if you come to the Zoom, we'll talk about this. So you're going to be working on the vocabulary, and you're going to cut this out and fold it. And each one is going to be a word that we have to get the meaning for. So I'm going to show you up close how to do this. So this is the vocabulary that we're doing, and that means we're trying to figure out what these words mean. Now, we should know what prairie means because we did this right here, and you should have already written down what prairie means here. So you can go ahead and write that. The way you make this is you cut along the solid lines, and then it's going to be like a little flat book. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll just do a few of these each day so that we can finish it by the end of the book. It's going to be glued right here. Okay, so you can already do prairie, and you can write prairie right there. You don't have very much room to write, so write small in pencil. Now, let's say you forget what the word means or you're not really sure. Like, say the word dune. We did the word dune. That came up in the book. But say you don't know how to describe it. What you can do is you can use a phone or computer and write Dune Definition. If you write definition, then you can see what that means. Now, when I typed it in, when I put Dune, D-E-F, it just popped right up. So then it's going to say what Dune is here, and I can push this and I can listen.
Dune.
And it says the word for me. Okay, and it also shows me some pictures of a dune. There's a nice picture of a dune. And it tells me what it means. It says a mound or ridge of sand or other loose sediment formed by the wind, especially on the sea coast or in a desert. Now, you don't want to write that much. That's way too long. But let's just say it in a few words. What is a dune? Let's look at the pictures again. It's a mound of sand. A mound is just like, you've heard of like an anthill. You've seen that. That's a mound. So these pictures are showing a dune, and so I can just write mound of sand. Now I'm going to write it with a pen just because I want you to be able to see it, but don't use a big pen like this or you won't be able to fit it. So I can just put mound of sand, and I can actually draw a little picture of it. There it is. Okay, let's do one more together. What about pitchfork? We probably came to that word when we were doing, when they were making the dune. Okay, I can even talk into my phone and say pitchfork definition. Now don't just say pitchfork, then something else might come up. Pitchfork definition.
Here's the definition of pitchfork. A farm tool with a long handle and sharp metal prongs, used especially for lifting hay.
So I can say tool for lifting hay, and I can actually draw a picture. If I push this, it'll probably show me a picture. And it looks kind of like a big, huge fork. So I can say tool for lifting hay, and I'm just going to draw it. It looks like a fork, but it's huge. Okay? So we already have 2 written down, and if you copy what you wrote for prairie, you'll have 3 of those for your booklet. And this is what your booklet's starting to look like. So while I'm here showing you things, I'm going to go ahead and show you what you're going to do for your math test. You have 4 pages of your math test. You're going to draw the graphs like it says. Make sure you're doing the right type of chart. This says make a picture graph, so make sure you draw it, and then these questions go with that graph. And you're just going to flip the pages over. Some of the graphs are already made for you. Some of the graphs you have to make yourself. Make sure on the tallies to write the total. And then this says make a bar graph, so you're going to, of course, color it in. And then your last page is another bar graph that you're going to color in based on your information here and answer those questions. Okay, the next activity you're going to do is your scholastic activity, which is going to be about sound and music. So I think I put it under science, but it is also sound and music. Now, you're going to listen to the books. Remember, read the books and watch the little video, and then you're going to get your little booklet and read your activity. Now your activity is going to be to listen and draw a picture of 4 things that you're hearing. Now when I did this here, it's so quiet at school, the only thing I could hear was the heater. So maybe where you are it's a little bit noisier and maybe you hear somebody in the other room, but you kind of want to go to a quiet place to do this activity. And when you go to do this activity, after you've already read the science books on your computer, you're going to want to bring your take a break station things, which is this reflection page and your calming activities, and bring your journal. You also might want to grab some of the things that it says here. So you can grab your stuffed animal if you want. Let's see. You can grab a book if you want. You can grab a ball if you want. So I'm going to grab those things right now. And I'm going to go and sit down and do all these activities at once in a quiet place. Okay, now we're all situated and we're going to do our science activity. We're going to listen and try and see if we can hear 4 different things. Now I already told you that I heard the heater, so I can draw a picture of that or the fan for the heater, and then I'll label what that is. Now when I sat down on this beanbag, it made a kind of squishy sound. And so I can draw the beanbag and I can write beanbag. When I was coming over here, Annie was moving the video camera and I heard the tripod squeaking. So I could draw the tripod with the video camera and that squeaking. Now if I sat here for a while, I noticed earlier that I was hearing the birds chirp outside. So I could probably hear that if I wasn't talking right now to you. Now, as I'm sitting here, after I do this and draw my little pictures, I'm going to go ahead and put that paper aside and look at the take a break station. Now, this is for when we're feeling a lot of emotions. And I'm guessing this week that sometime you felt some of these emotions. Maybe you felt embarrassed or disappointed that you weren't at school, or you were worried or jealous or sad or frustrated or angry, or maybe you even had a good feeling like you felt happy or silly or surprised. So you're going to try to think of a time either right now, what you're feeling, or sometime this week, last week while you've been home, and you're going to put what happened. It could be a good or a bad feeling where you had a feeling, and you're going to put, is there something you could do differently, or maybe not. Maybe you did a good job, and you can write that, and then you're going to put if you're calm now. Now you're going to practice doing these activities, these calming activities, because I know there's going to be a lot of emotions going on in the next few weeks with us doing our schoolwork at home. So this is also something that you can keep. And if you're ever having like a real emotional time, or even if your parents or brothers or sisters are, they could do some of these activities and just kind of be calm. So it says hug a stuffed animal. So you can just sit there and hug your stuffed animal. Another thing you could do is take a deep breath. And I like to do that, and sometimes when I take a deep breath, I like to say a little prayer about the things I'm worried about. Did you know that every day I say a little prayer for you guys? And I read my Bible a little bit, and that's kind of like taking a deep breath. Another thing you can do is you can squeeze the ball. If you're frustrated, you can squeeze the ball. And I'm not going to do all of these. You can see all the things that you can do. One thing that I want you to do, after you've spent a little time doing this, and written down something that happened, if you can do something differently or not. Everybody's done this at school, so I think you can do it. You're going to get your journal, and you're going to write 3 things that you're thankful for. Now, this is something that I do every day. I was going to bring you my journal. 2017, most days, at the end of the day, I try to think of 3 things I'm thankful for. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line down the middle. You're going to write, I am thankful for, and then write 3 things. And then draw a picture of one of those things that you're thankful for. And then another day, we'll go ahead and add to that, and you can draw a picture on this side. But I found that being thankful makes me less worried and less dissatisfied and makes me remember the good things that I have. So I'd like you to think of 3 things you're thankful for and write it in your journal while you're relaxing. Now, it doesn't have to be a really super long list, but like what I try to do, like let's say I really was thankful for my food. Instead of just saying I'm thankful for and then putting food, I'll put my taco dinner. I'll put what it was that we had that I really liked. And obviously you could be thankful for the people in your family. You can be thankful for things that God's given you, that you have a place to sleep, that you have, that you're warm and you have clothes. There's all kinds of things to be thankful for. So today I want you to write 3 things you're thankful for in your journal. So as you're sitting here in your quiet place, hopefully you can do all those things kind of at one time and just spend this time just relaxing and just remembering, hey, life is good. Okay, we're almost done, kids. I'm going to show you how to do our handwriting. Now, we're going to be making ends today. Now, remember, I'm using a pen so that you can see it. You use your pencil. All right, so I'm going to make a little tail. I'm going to go down and make a 1-hump camel. That's the uppercase. Now, remember, when you make your lowercase, you have to put an extra hump. All right? Now, make sure you do 3 of each. And if you're an A student and you have the time, go ahead and fill in all of the lines. Now, I saved the best for last. We're going to be doing a spelling activity. I want you to do this activity if you can. Now, if you absolutely can't, you can do one of the other activities on the sheet. But I really hope you can do the flour or shaving cream on a cookie sheet. Now, it says, etc. I use the etc. That means whatever else you have, because I did not have flour or shaving cream at school, but I had sand. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put it in a pan or on a cookie sheet. I just had this pan, so I put it on this pan, and you're going to make it really smooth, and you're going to practice your spelling words with this. Now, it's better if you can do this outside. If it's raining and you can't, make sure you're at a table, you're in the kitchen someplace where it's not going to make a mess. So you're going to get list 26. Now, if you can't find your printed list, it's always on GradeLink under Teacher Pages, and we're on list 26. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to say a word, and then you're going to not look at it, okay? So I'm going to say the word, or someone can read it to you if you want. So I'm going to say the word birth, and now I'm not looking. I'm going to just spell it with my finger. B-I-R-T-H. I don't know if you can see that at all, but I can see that. And I can check my word now. Did I spell it right? B-I-R-T-H. Yes, I did. And now I'm going to smooth it out and try the next word. Okay? You see how that works? Okay, and then when you're all done, your parent can just sign it and you can color in that you did it. Okay, that's all for today, kids. See you next time. Just kidding, there's one more thing. If you want to do the optional recess activity, today, hopefully it's not raining when you see this, you can go for a walk around your neighborhood or ride your bike. They have said, the governor has said, that it's okay to get outdoors as long as you're keeping your distance from other people. So I've been walking around the neighborhood with Mr. Bollinger, and we see a lot of families walking and riding their bikes, but we just stay at least 6 feet away from them, or we walk on the other side of the street and we just wave to them. So maybe that's something that you can do today or coming up in the next few days. You can get outside and take a walk or ride your bike.